All right, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel Charles Williams, and welcome to my channel. If you watched my last video, I was talking about this is a new time, and we should be able to take control of our money, be able to make money on our own. We have a lot of opportunities to do so. And if you did read the post on my blog, I talked about eBay and Uber. So this video is going to be about Uber. I'm going to talk about a couple of things, basically like vehicle requirements. And I know generally speaking there's a general vehicle requirement for Uber, and I'm going to go with Lyft. I'm going to say Lyft as well, Uber and Lyft, and I know they sort of have like the similar requirements. So actually this is going to be about Uber and Lyft. I'm specifically looking at an Uber page, but after you go back and forth between the two, you'll figure out like they are very similar in requirements, very similar. But I live in North Carolina, and I know the requirements for North Carolina is a little different than larger states. And larger states like New York, I'm talking about New York because I know about it. But you have larger states, New York, California, and I want to say like Texas, or whoever have heavily populated cities. And of course, New York has a heavily populated city, so does California, and I believe Texas also. And I'm not really specific, don't really know the specifics about Texas, but I definitely know California and New York have heavily populated cities, so their requirements for Uber and Lyft are a little bit more, or just higher than a state like North Carolina, you know. So, you know, North Carolina is not heavily populated. We don't have all of the traffic. We don't have, you know, all those requirements. So anyway, for vehicle registration and vehicle requirements in North Carolina, first I want to say, if anybody who's been asking this question, I know I have been looking for it, and they want to know, if anybody wants to know, can they register a vehicle with Uber or Lyft with temporary plates? And that answer is yes, you can. So I specifically looked it up, and I had a series of people tell me that they was able to do so. They was able to load up their temporary registration. They didn't even have plates yet. They had a temporary plate, but obviously the temporary registration, they had the inspection, and you had the insurance. Those are the things that you need to register a car. It can be temporary. The only thing that I did read was you have to make sure as soon as those documents come in, you update. Don't allow the documents to expire before you update the actual registration information, your actual plates. Go ahead and do that before your temporaries expire. And I was told that whoever did it after that had some problems trying to update it because it expired, and they had problems going back and forth. They said that they was able to do it, but it just took a little bit longer for them to get the registration get the documents updated. So they was able to do it. It just took them longer. The platforms had a issue with recognizing the vehicle as passing the requirements because the vehicle registration, temporary registration, had expired. So keep that in mind. So if you want to use temporary plates, you can. Just make sure that you get those actual registration in place uploaded, documents uploaded before your temporaries expire. And so that's good news. So, all right. So for North Carolina, I'm just speaking about North Carolina. I know generally speaking, when I looked, majority of the requirements for ride share, which is Uber and Lyft, your vehicle has to be no more than 10 years old. If it's older than 10 years old, it won't meet the requirements. So keep that in mind, all right? You don't want to if you're purchasing a vehicle, obviously you don't want to purchase a vehicle which is 10 years old, because, you know, the following year or on the borderline, 9 year, I would say don't purchase a vehicle if it's 9 years old. If you already have a vehicle, then you can use that vehicle. Don't go out and purchase a vehicle that's old, because, you know, it's going to expire within a year or 2 years, and that doesn't really make any sense. But, you know, so please keep that in mind. I want to read off the requirements if you guys don't already know. The minimum requirements for North Carolina is a 2002 or newer vehicle. Like I said, in other states, it's higher. You know, I don't know this specifically, but I believe it's just lower in low economy. And I'm not saying we don't have an economy here in North Carolina, but for low population states, we're not heavily populated, so therefore we don't have, we don't have a lot of ride share drivers. So they got to lower their requirements so they can get more people into the system, so that the ride share can work. Because you're not going to have ride share if you don't have riders. You have no riders. You have no riders. You have no drivers. You ain't going to have any riders. So they had to lower the requirements so that they can get more riders, and then more drivers, more riders, so the system can work. It doesn't work without the two. So that's why the requirements are lower. And you'll find the lower requirements in cities and states that does not have a heavy population of people, because, you know, it's just not enough people. So they got to lower the requirements so that they can get more people into the system. So you need a 4-door car or minivan. Obviously, you should know it should be in good condition, no cosmetic damage, which is not true. You can have cosmetic damage on your vehicle and it'll still pass. Trust me. It doesn't matter as long as that car is running. It's good. It passes inspection. It has 4 doors and everything else in it works. You know, windows, locks, all that stuff works. It'll pass. It doesn't have to look pretty. It'll pass. So it says no commercial branding. So, you know, your car can't be tagged up with a whole bunch of other stuff for like Allstate or whatever it is. It won't pass for that. So in your vehicle inspection, obviously you must pass inspection. You must pass the inspection. You cannot get your vehicle onto the platform or any platform if it doesn't pass inspection. All right. So, and then also, last but not least, you must have insurance. So you have to have insurance. You have to have your own insurance, with a legitimate company. And then, of course, once you get into a platform, you'll see that the rideshare platform provides liability insurance, basically while you're driving the vehicle for them. So just in case anything happened, you actually covered for them. But you also have to have your own insurance. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the vehicle requirements. And if you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I live in North Carolina, eastern part of North Carolina. So if you got any questions about Uber, just hit me up, leave me a message. Look at the links below. I'll have all my information down there. If you want to sign up, please sign up through me. Obviously, you know about the affiliate program through Uber and Rideshare. And I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. I'll, be glad to help you get signed up. And that's about it. Thanks for watching my video. Like it. And I'll see you on the next video.